All right, boys, we're gonna do a little technical analysis on sound or SoundHound or whatever you want to call it. Soon. Sorry. Anyway, we're gonna start this off looking at the weekly real quick. As we get into this dive, one thing I want to map out is going to be our all-time high. So I'm not going to count this one over here, but let's do the previous one, which is around that $18 level, and then we'll break more into the chart itself. So let's draw a trend line as well, where we could see potential support if this ever decides to crash and die. This is going to be a major level over here. So if it comes down, as long as it tests this trend line, we could see bounce upwards. If not, most likely we'll end up making lower lows. Okay, now that's done, we kind of got the overall picture of sound. Yeah, so one thing we can know off the weeklies, we had a nice breakout over here, followed by another breakout that led to an all-time high. And now we're starting to come down a bit, but it's only normal when you have extreme moves like this. But there's a potential buildup happening over here, which could lead higher or possibly lower if it happens before earnings. Or do we end up consolidating? We'll get more into the details as we start getting into lower time frames. So let's get into the daily real quick to see get a better picture of what happened. So one thing I'm noticing over here is the grinding on the 50 MA. So the 50 MA is having a great time over here, enjoying this little price action, and we saw a bounce off of it. So it's taking a break. Get off me. Let me have my drink real quick, before I lock in again. It's only normal activity over here. However, we did end up rejecting over here. Is this because of this $18 level is the previous high? Maybe, but what we could also do to make the chart look a little bit better is by drawing resistance over here. So as we end up trying to break out of this again going into next week, we might see more resistance and continue downwards. Okay, so now that we got the top trend, let's draw in our bottom trend over here, see what we're looking at. Boom, done. Easy. Just putting lines on paper is not that hard. You get a overall picture of where the stock may be heading. So we're starting to coil over here. Price action is beginning to constrict itself. Basically, it's getting tighter, and then we're gonna see a nice move. And this is why I'm saying earnings is all the way out in March. So I believe we're going to get this move before earnings. All right. Also right here, the gap was filled. We talked about this in our other video. Also, guys, follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting ideas. So, we talked about how this gap was most likely going to get filled. So now let's get into the 30-minute chart. All right. So we had a double top over here. So there's the first one, followed by the second one. However, we're starting to see support over here. Now let's talk about the play going into the week. What could happen? All right, so there's two ways this ends up. It's either up or down. So you just want to bet on the right direction beforehand. I'm an upper type of guy, so I'm gonna say it's gonna go upwards. So I think we're gonna retest the support before heading back upwards toward the trend line. We're gonna see a nice pop back to this resistance over here, followed by the $18 test, and then for my longs, it most likely continue running upwards towards that $24 level. So that's my analysis on SOUN, and you guys let me know down below what you want to see next.